Hey, look at that, everybody. Did you guys know this 7:34 thing starts at 7:34? This is a new one for me. I'm 25 seconds late. Well, actually, I've been talking for 10 seconds as I walked in the room. The producer and I were talking about the biggest story of the day on our way in. Chris and I were apparently too slowly, walking over, and we were talking about the 3M earnings. You guys have been on the edge of your seats for those, haven't you? Guess what? 3M made a lot of money. They sell N95 masks, so of course they did. Let's start with today's weather. Hi, I'm Jason. Welcome to 7:34, which may be starting at 7:35 the way I'm running things today. It's a rainy day. We're all going to be a little bit slow, a little bit behind. Do you think, do I get written up for this? Is there some sort of paperwork that gets filed? DeRusha was late for the 7:34. Anyway, rainy, 51, kind of a trash day, especially compared to yesterday, which was glorious, so nice. All right, let's talk about this. Aliens. They're out there. When I was in 6th grade, I was a little bored in school, so my 6th grade teacher, Tom Krennick, who I've always said, this is the teacher who changed my life, because I was freaking out about grades, and he sat me down on the stoop outside school and said, Jason, stop it. There's more to life than grades. And he was right. And since then, I've been largely an academic failure. No, I'm just kidding. But I was assigned a school project on aliens. Find the evidence. And I argued that I think they're out there. Here's the video. I've been waiting for this since I was in 6th grade. The Pentagon now confirming this is a UFO by all definitions, right? Unidentified flying object. They don't know what it is. Rapidly moving in the air. Okay, maybe it's a drone. But one of these is from 2004. It was not very common to have drones flying around in 2004. The other two from 2015. Pentagon officials released this because a private company released it, and people were like, hey, is this real? Is it fake? No, Pentagon said we're releasing it, so you know this is real video. Do you believe now? Do you believe in UFOs? What we would like on our Facebook page right now is your UFO story. Tell me about the time you saw a UFO or an alien. Your story can be true or false. Feel free to make it up. It's fine. Video is kind of fun to see. I think we all needed that right now, right? News today here in the Twin Cities. The Vice President, Mike Pence, will be coming back to Minnesota again today. He is touring Mayo Clinic in Rochester. He's going to talk with the governor here about a new coronavirus testing partnership. Tim Walz will be there. They're going to talk through the state's partnership with Mayo and the University of Minnesota. Pretty unique when you look around the whole country. That Mayo public university state partnership is expected to boost the state's capacity to do 20,000 COVID-19 tests a day. The vice president's visit comes one day after President Trump announced new guidelines for expanded testing and tracing. Members of the president's coronavirus task force say next month the country will be able to test 8 million people. Private companies, key in making it possible. We've heard until this point that we've had the blueprint to test more people. We just haven't had the supplies. Well, manufacturers have started increasing the number of swabs and other materials needed. Mayo Clinic, for example, has started making swabs for its own test. Also in the partnership here, pharmacies like Walgreens and CVS working to make the test accessible.
We now have a capacity to test about 35,000 individuals each week. And this afternoon, we announced plans to expand that capacity even further. Beginning in May, we will install testing capabilities in up to 1,000 CVS pharmacies.
They're going to do this by using their drive-thrus and parking lots as testing sites. We should expect to see that rolled out in May, which is next week. Same for Walgreens. Walmart says it's going to open testing at 100 locations by the end of May. So this will take a little while, but we'll see this in the coming weeks. Virus has now claimed more lives in Minnesota than in Wisconsin. That's a flip. 286 people have died in Minnesota, 281 in Wisconsin. Wisconsin still with a few thousand more known cases than Minnesota. Minnesota among 19 cases that have already, 19 states rather, that have already started to loosen coronavirus restrictions. We haven't loosened much, But thousands of businesses did have the option of reopening yesterday. One such place, the sprawling Cambria factory near Le Sueur, which employs about 650 employees, maker of cultured quartz countertops, employing a number of safety measures to keep the workforce healthy. Social distancing, of course, at the employee entrance, the lunchroom, the production floor. But look at this, employees going through this kind of high-tech body temperature scanner before being allowed inside the plant.
Working very well. Our employees are thrilled that we're doing this and helping them understand kind of what their temperature is and also what their coworkers' temperature is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? If a worker's temp is above 99, they're sequestered for further testing, like a blood oxygen level test. Fever is a leading indicator of COVID-19. Alaska, Georgia, Tennessee now allowing restaurants to resume dine-in service. Many establishments are saying, we're going to pass on that opportunity. In Alaska, restaurants are required to keep a log of dine-in customers. That way, if somebody does get sick, the health department can trace their contacts a little more easily. I imagine when we open up, almost every place is going to have to go all reservation. California weighing a crackdown after high temperatures led to crowded beaches in recent days. They still have a stay-at-home order in place in California. The governor says, look, we're going to reopen the state, but if people ignore social distancing, that will slow that. Today, Election Day in Ohio. It's the primary, but no in-person voting because of the pandemic. The whole thing being done by mail, and this is a massive test case to see if this could be done on a wider scale. New York said, forget it, we don't really need the presidential primary. They canceled it. State Selection Board says it's simply too risky. Wisconsin held the last in-person primary on April 7th, and remember how that went? The state has learned of at least 19 coronavirus cases they've linked to in-person voting on Election Day. State officials warn the food supply is stable, but they're saying there are going to be some shortages. You might have fewer options to choose from, and there may be an increase in prices. Meat processing. We have plenty of meat, but the processing plants have been shutting down because of outbreaks of COVID-19 among workers. The flip to this is that even though all of us are cooking more, demand for chicken and pork products is down because, you know, no restaurants, no commercial kitchens, no schools, no really hospitals are barely ordering food, too. State leaders say smaller facilities like we have a lot of vegetable canning plants here in Minnesota. They've enhanced their safety practices to keep employees healthy, too. Airlines taking steps to make sure flights are safer. American is going to hand out face masks and sanitizing wipes to flyers starting next month. Flight attendants will wear masks too. JetBlue requiring customers to wear a mask from the time they check in to the time they deplane. We've all heard that phrase, shake your moneymaker, right? It's exactly what a couple in Vermont is doing to keep their business from going extinct. They're dressing up like dinosaurs and dancing when they do deliveries. Couple has had to downshift production at their small root beer business to stay afloat. They started offering delivery service and added that extra twist with the Dino costumes. A friend gave them to them, looking to lift their spirits. Now they show up, music blaring, root beer in claw. I love it. I love that. All right, let's get back to today's talker. Our digital department head, Eric, is with us. We got the big guns here today.
I'm just a guy. Just a digital guy.
Digital guy. Yeah. Eric is here, and we're talking UFOs. The proof is clear. I think we've seen the UFO in the video from the Pentagon. They say, yeah, we don't know what this is. That is a UFO. Why do we think the aliens came here in 2015 and then left?
They didn't like what they saw, I guess.
Maybe. What are people saying? Are they
So
telling...
Julie says no aliens.
No aliens.
But she's definitely in the minority.
Okay.
Laura says we are the aliens.
Laura, you may be onto something. I don't know. It's like if you look around your workplace and you don't have anyone who's the weirdo at work, it's like, well, it's you.
Exactly.
Might be you.
Megan says, I believe we aren't alone here, but I'm not sure how valid these videos are. I think we might be losing our marbles in quarantine.
Well, I, for one, am certainly at the top of the losing my marbles list. I'll guarantee that.
Tyler said, I've seen giant alien creatures fly over me and a friend a couple years ago, which would have been 2015.
Yeah, wait a minute.
That would have been about that time.
Yeah.
Becca says, I believe it's very arrogant to think that we were the only intelligent life out there, especially since some of us aren't even that intelligent anyway.
Come on.
And last but not least, our own space guru in the web department, Cole, says, as the great Fox Mulder said, the truth is out there.
The truth is out there. Yeah. I mean, this was my 6th grade conclusion, that there's no way that we are the only life form out there. Sadly, I don't think it's like Alf or E.T. It's probably not like that.
Well, Alf ate cats, so I'm happy for that.
That's happy for eating cats?
No,
Are
happy
you a
that
cat
happy
hater?
that they're not like Alf.
How dare you?
I'm a dog person, clearly.
All right, this was fun. I'll try to be here at 7:34 tomorrow on time. No guarantees, though. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Have a good day.